Hi everybody, come on in, come in class. Everybody get seated, get seated. You can sit anywhere in the room that you like. We will be talking about seating arrangements, but for right now, everybody just come on in, come on in, come on in. Alrighty. Oh my goodness, I have a big class today, like a full house of students. Oh my goodness. Last year, don't get me wrong, I had a little small group of students. I loved them. I miss my kiddos so much. I hope they all had a good summer. I hope you all had a good summer, and welcome, 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 welcome. I'm so excited, unbelievably excited for this year. I do have a few things that we just need to talk about. It's the first day of sixth grade. Oh my goodness. I know your moms, your dads, your papas, your mamas, they're all just like so happy and proud of you guys. I know I am. You made it. You made it. So I have, like I said, a few things that I need to talk with everyone about for their first day. But first, let's just start with some introductions. Let's just introduce ourselves, okay? I guess I will start, or actually, let me do roll call first. Let me do roll call, and then we can go ahead and get into introductions and things like that. So, let me get my notebook. All right, where's my pen? I could have sworn that I set my pen down. I promise, guys, I'm very organized. Where is my pen? Okay. Trying to think. Let's go ahead and start with roll call. All right. I have Amanda. Amanda, you're there. Awesome. I have Stella. Okay, I see you. James. All right. Melissa. Ooh, no Melissa. Okay. I'll write that down. Not coming to your first day. Oh my goodness. Okay, let's see. I got Andrew. Mark. Okay. Timothy. I see you, Timothy. Hi. Jade. Okay. Ignacio. All right. Emma. Okay. And Olivia. All right. Okay. So I'm glad to see that most of us are here. And like I said, let me go ahead and introduce myself. I know you're probably wondering, well, I know you all know my name, but it's good to have formal introductions, I feel like. For one, you can tell by my accent. I born and raised Southern Mississippi. Okay, Jade, another Mississippier. Okay. I'm not alone here. But yes, as you could tell by my accent, I am Southern through and through. I've been teaching sixth grade for about 2 years now, but before that, I did teach kindergarten for about 5. Love kindergarten so much. I miss my little ones. Oh my goodness. But this is going on my 3rd year of teaching sixth grade, and I absolutely love it. You know what they say, if it's God's will, then I'm gonna do it, and I guess it is God's will, because here I am for my 3rd year. It's honestly been such a joy. My name is Mrs. Tilly. Some of my friends usually call me Silly Tilly, so you might catch yourself getting a laugh during my class, which I don't mind. Listen, I know I'm funny, and it's okay if you laugh. You know, we're gonna be spending practically all day, every day during the week together. You know, your parents have you Saturday, Sunday. I get you Monday through Friday. So I think we should at least be able to enjoy ourselves, and I promise by the end of this school year, we're all gonna be good friends. I'm so excited. I have been married for going on 35 years. Yes, to my high school sweetheart, Popeye. Oh my goodness, he has my heart. I surely love him. You guys will definitely get to meet him for sure. I do have 3 kids. So my oldest, I have 2 daughters and a son. My oldest, her name is Kentucky Fried Chicken. Yes, she's so sweet. Really kind soul. She takes after her mama. What can I say? And then I have another daughter, and her name is Coleslaw. She is a little rambunctious, but you know, we all have that. We all have that, and it's okay. God made us the way He saw fit, and our job is just to love one another. So that's what we're doing. Um, but then I also have my youngest, and that's my son, and his name is Kane. Yes, like Raising Canes. Y'all know. I could not stop eating Raising Canes when I was pregnant with him, and Papa and I, we didn't have a name for him up until the day he was born, the very few seconds before he was born, and we heard that precious little cry. But when he came out, we knew. I said, Kane. That's it. That's it. So that's my children. Yep, Kentucky Fried Chicken, Coleslaw, and Kane. Those are my hearts. Now, I am so excited. Like I said, welcome to 6th grade. Happy first day. This is going to be wonderful. Now, I do have a few things that I want to talk about. A few things that I want to go over for the school year, things that are very important for us to discuss. We're going to have a lot of fun this year, but we got to get some ground rules gone out and get us started. Now, I do have my notebook. And I am writing a few things that I already have down that I want to tell you guys, because as my friends say, you know, I'm Southern, so I love to talk, love to ramble. Actually, my daughter, Kentucky Fried Chicken, this summer, you know, she was home. Of course, she went out with her friends a lot, but she was home and she was showing me all of these, what you call them, TikTok videos. And there was this one, and it was talking about an Irish goodbye, but then it said, oh, you haven't heard about the Southern goodbye. And that just, oh, that tickled my soul. It was just so funny because it's so true. The Southern goodbye. We will say goodbye to each other and we'll be talking out there for 2 more hours. I tell you, that happened to me this past weekend. Yes, we were having a little, you know, end of summer party with the family, celebrating the kids. It was such a good time, but we stayed out in that parking lot for quite some time after we said goodbye. But we knew it was time to go when the workers of the establishment that we went to, they were getting in their cars to head home, and I said, oh, my Sally Mae. That's my sister, by the way. But I said, oh, Sally Mae, we have got to get going. This is quite something. So, yes, but I do ramble on a bit, I will say. So, I have some notes to keep me on track, okay? So, let's see what I want to start with. Let's start with some rules for the classroom. Number 1, have fun. I want this to be a good, fun school year for everybody. I want us all to have a good time. I want us to enjoy the classroom. Now, in order for us all to have fun and enjoy ourselves and each other, we have to do the R word, respect. We have to respect one another 100%. So listen, if something's bothering you, if something's hurting you, if you feel offended, you feel sad, speak up. This is an open space where we're going to speak up, talk about how we feel, and we're going to hear each other, respect, and be kind. That is it. Respect each other, hear each other, and be kind. That is what we want. Now, when I am teaching, I don't want to be interrupted. I don't want to have to stop and interrupt the class because somebody doesn't want to listen or someone doesn't know how to behave. You are in 6th grade. You are all in 6th grade. I expect you to be able to handle yourself in a good way, okay? Which means we're not going to act like we did in elementary school now. We're higher. We're in 6th grade, middle school. You're all middle schoolers. So I expect you all to be able to act in a way. And what I always like to think is WWJD. What would Jesus do, okay? And if you are not a believer, that's okay. To each their own. Every single tub has to stand on their own footing, okay? So if you aren't a believer, that's fine. I'm not trying to push anything down anybody's throats. But if you're not a believer, then just think, how would I want to be treated? The golden rule: treat others how you want to be treated. Okay? And if you can do that, we're all going to have a good, grand time. Now, I do allow some snacks here and there. Sometimes now, not all the time, but sometimes I allow snacks. But I want you to be able to clean up after yourself, keep it tidy, keep it nice. I have trash cans throughout. I also have some hand sanitizer. Now, one thing to know about Miss Tilly, I don't play about no germs, okay? So if you're sick, I understand you gotta come here and get your education, but if you are sick, we do have a quarantined sick area in the back. That's gonna be the seating that's farthest in the back where Timothy is. Now, Timothy is not sick, but I hadn't fully arranged seating yet, so he sat back there. Which, Timothy, you can go ahead and come on up because not a soul's back there, honey, okay? Okay, unless you're sick, then everybody needs to be sitting up as close to the front as possible so that they can focus. Yeah. But like I said, if you are sick, that area is where you would be, and you would stay there for the remainder of the day. And even after you get better, you'll be there for a few days just for the safety of the class, okay? Even if you got sick over the weekend and you got better over the weekend, you're still gonna be back there for a few days, okay? Because I really, cannot be getting sick. I can't take that home to Popeye, Kentucky Fried Chicken, coleslaw, cane. I can't take that back to my family. So for the safety of Miss Tilly and everybody involved, that's where you'll be, okay? So just, if you're feeling a little sick, just come to me, say, Miss Tilly, I'm not feeling well. And there you go, okay? I'll understand. Now, about bathrooms, I believe that, if you gotta go, you gotta go. There was this one time, Coleslaw, bless her heart, my goodness. She was in class, and she had told her teacher, I have to use the bathroom. And I guess her teacher thought that she was joking because she had a few other classmates that weren't really, they would take advantage of it. And Coleslaw told her, I really gotta go. But she wouldn't let her poor Coleslaw just be right where she sat. She called me wailing on the phone. It was something. So I don't want that to happen to any of you. If you have to go to the bathroom, you have to go. I understand. But just come to me, let me know, and I'll give you a slip, okay? Now, with that comes also trust on both ends. I'm trusting y'all that when you say you have to go to the bathroom, you're going to the bathroom. Now, the Lord tells us to forgive quite a bit now, so I'm gonna do my part. But if you have to use the bathroom, let me know, and I want to believe, like I said, I want to trust that you're going to go to the bathroom. And if I find out that's not where you went, then we'll handle that when we get there. But I assure you that I would not be happy. And I'm a kind, understanding teacher. But like I said, let's not take advantage of one another, because that's not kind, that's not respectful. So let's not do that, okay? All right, we're getting through this quite easy. Our first day is going to be real simple, not too much we have to discuss. So your classes with everybody are going to be a little bit shorter today. Everybody's going to go home a little bit earlier. First day is always like this because there's not much, we're not starting out the first day teaching, but we're getting to know each other, introductions, rules, things of that sort. Now, with my grading, I try to be fair with everything. If I see that you've been trying and you didn't do too well on a test, I do like to round up. Yes, I do like to round up because I like to make people happy. I love to make mamas and daddies at home happy. So, of course, they want to see them good grades, but you got to at least meet me halfway. That means if you have at least get a 75 aim for, then yeah, you'll get an 80, okay? I like to round up, like I said. Now, if you get a 40%, there's not much I can do. If you get a D, there's not much I can do. Okay, but if you get on that high end of a C, you get a B. High end of a B, you get an A. That's why last year I was recognized as one of the best teachers. I got an award. It was something. That was my second year that I got that award. So I'm hoping, let's go 3 for 3, everybody. And let's get that award again, because all my students last year and the year before that, they were A, B. because of that roundup system and because they kept working and everyone was very smart and passed with flying colors at the end of the year. So that's what I want for everybody here now. That's what I want. So let's all make sure we focus in class. Like I said, no distractions, no talking, no over the topness. Okay, we're all going to be focusing because everything deserves its proper place. So when we're in school, we're in school. When we're in class, we're in class. We're focusing. We're paying attention. We're studying. We're trying our best to understand so we can get good grades. When we go outside for recess, have fun, okay? But be safe. Have fun, but be safe. Be nice to everyone. But yes, when you go home, you go home. All right? But when we're here in Miss Tilly's classroom, we're going to treat my classroom with respect. We're going to treat each other with respect. Okay? So that's that with that. And now your homework load is going to get a little bit more than elementary school because you're middle schoolers now. You're middle schoolers. So we're going to do a little bit more work than normal, but that's just how things go. You're, like I said, you're in middle school. In high school, it's a whole nother level. So I do want us all to pay attention because our workload is definitely going to get added a little bit, but not too much. It's manageable. You can do it, but you just have to stay on top of it and make sure that you don't slack off and don't fool around, okay? Now, also, I expect things to be turned in on time. No excuses now. No excuses. If something comes up and you are not able to, I do sometimes allow like a leniency period and I give you a few extra days. I extend that deadline for you, but you have to let me know because if you don't, I promise you, you will be getting an F. You'll be getting an F and that will be final. I don't typically go back and change grading unless under extreme circumstances. So like I said, it's very important that if something comes up and you're not able to turn it in on time or something happened, you have to come to me and tell me. So also with respect, trust, communication. Yes, we are going to be working on skills that we are going to need as you guys get older, as you go into high school, as you become adults, as you get into the real world. These are things that you're going to have to be able to do to be a good person, to be a good person in society. So I like to start my kiddos out early in 6th grade with these things. Trust, communication, respect. We're going to work on all those things. So that is pretty much it for first day. Like I said, there's not too much that I wanted to discuss with you all. Just wanted to kind of get started with just like some basic things. As far as your locker, you all shall have already gotten your little locks. On the back, I have written what the numbers are. So actually what we're going to do is we're going to go out to our lockers and we're going to practice. We're going to put our stuff in, lock it up. Then we're going to also undo it, and it may take a few times. But we have, like I said, a little bit of extra time today since I didn't have too much to talk with you all about. We're going to go out there and we're going to practice, and then after that you all will get moved to your next class. So that's how it's going to go. Our lunch break is always at 12, so that's how it's going to be for us. We're kind of like in the middle with everyone. Thankfully we don't have an early lunch. Last year we did. It was like 11:30 and I really couldn't eat because I'd already ate my Jimmy Dean breakfast sandwich, and I need time to let my food digest. So I barely ate lunch last year, but thankfully we have 12, a nice time for lunch, and half of that will also be out in recess. So that's going to be great. I'm very excited. I'm looking for a very fun, enjoyable year. I'm so happy to have you all in my classroom. And yes, so let's go ahead. Let's go out to the hallway. Everybody get in a line. Yep, just like in elementary school. Everybody get on up, get in a nice line, and we're going to head to the hallway. And then we're going to go ahead and look in those lockers and make sure that everybody knows how to properly unlock it, lock it, get their stuff out, and all of that sort. So, alrighty, let's go, and I know that we're gonna have a wonderful, wonderful school year. All right, come on, guys.